Hello everyone and welcome back to Simulated TC. We are here today for race number 3 at Autopolis Raceway as we prepare to set ourselves up for the championship finale event at Interlagos in just a week's time. 4 races remain in this season and one of them is today, so let's have a look at how the field lines up ahead of today's event. Starting at the rear of the field for today's race, we have plenty of soft tyre runners, and in 19th position, it is the Honda of Jonathan Mills, who did that epic last to first drive early in the season. He'll be hoping to repeat that here today. Ahead of him, Elmarie Sarlo is on the soft tyres in 18th position, with Ben Driscoll, the lowest starting driver, not on the soft compound tyre. He's on mediums for race 3. Ahead of him, it is Morgan Hitchings in his DS. He is on the soft compound tyres, as is Dimitri Sotirakis in the Mercedes, the number 33 car there, looking to try and take their first win in this championship. Ahead of him, it is Adam Richardson on the soft tyres, the running champ. Could be about to slip out of title contention here today. Ahead of him, it is the man that looks set to take the title away from him unless something dramatic happens. Adrian Tisci is on the softs for this one and is our championship leader. Ahead of him, in 12th position, it is Seb Mills, with Thomas Pierpont just missing out on the reverse grid top 10 on hard tyres in the 11th position. Now we have our race 2 winner. It is Scott Sandever on hard compound tyres in 10th position, with Leo Bonnet just ahead of him on hard tyres 2 there in his Alfa Romeo. Then we have Jackson Turner on the mediums in his Honda. Then we go back to another hard runner with Carlo Durante in his Alfa Romeo, an Alfa Romeo manufacturer which has had a stronger than usual event so far. Then ahead of him, it's another hard runner here. You can see a lot of these top guys all using their best tyres already today. It is Jordan Fingal on the hards for Tesla. Then we see a couple of medium runners. Ian Henwood, second in the championship at the moment. He is on the medium tyres for this one. Then Aston Lewis, fourth in the championship at the moment. He is on the medium, starting fourth in this race. Then we see the highest starting soft runner. It is Albert Asante in third position. He's on the soft tyres, as I mentioned there. With the front row looking as follows. It's Dylan Varstenberg lining up in second place. And for the third time in a row, it is Matthew Lilley on pole position, this time on the medium compound of tyre. The cars and drivers are ready as the lights come on and the revs rise. We are racing and we're underway for the final race here at Autopolis. And again, it's a flying start from the pole sitter. Matthew Lilley will lead us down towards turn number 1, but it's Albert Asante in his slipstream towards the first corner on those soft tyres, immediately eating up the ground between the two top cars here. It's Varstenberg holding on to third place ahead of Henwood, and then Fingal with Durante, Lewis and Bonnet bring up the back of the top 8 here. But it is immediately, look at the gap, Matthew Lilley has gapped them through turn number 1 and then heading into 2 now. You can see Albert Asante about to mistake there from the Toyota driver on those soft compound tyres, as we see some incidents in the mid-pack contact here. Plenty of soft runners trying to make their way up the order here. Scott Sandever started in 10th spot. He's on hard tyres with maximum success ballast for his win in race 2, and he has got plenty of soft runners trying to make their way around him at the moment now. Sotirakis right on the back of the Alfa Romeo of Leo Bonnet as they head through the hairpin. Plenty of battling here. It'll be fascinating to see how far back Scott Sandever drops here. Crucially, the man in this title fight trying to keep it alive with Adrian Tisci. He needs to try and hold on to some points in this one as now we look back towards the front. It is Toyota that have led the way almost all season here in the Manufacturers' Championship, and Albert Asante has been flying in this event for Toyota. So even though Adrian Tisci, their championship leader, hasn't necessarily been the main man, Albert Asante is absolutely putting on a show for the fans. He puts the bumper to the back of Matthew Lilley. No respect lost there, I don't think. He just absolutely made that move as soon as he possibly could. Did not even give Matthew Lilley the chance to fight it out there. He has already been a bit aggressive so far in this event, has Albert Asante, and he is clearly willing to do it again there. He takes the lead here on lap number 1 as we start lap 2 now. He is in control up at the front on those soft tyres. The next tyre, soft runner here, we look through the pack. Seb Mills battling away as that's Dimitri Sotirakis sending it down the inside of a couple of cars in turn number 1. He's up into 5th place there on his soft tyres. He is the second highest soft runner in this race now, after jumping Seb Mills, who you see there in 7th position in the Peugeot, looking to take his car to victory here. Looking to the inside of Jordan Fingal here, outbraking the Tesla, the small little Peugeot, trying to cling onto the road as best it can, and he does get that position up into 6th place now for Mills. And we see now battling behind, that's Bonnet trying to take the place away from Fingal there in the Tesla, versus Alfa Romeo battling in to the hairpin. The Alfa Romeo on the inside there, number 95. Bit like Lightning McQueen, and we have Leo Bonnet on the inside. he will get that position off Fingal. Now we see that's the reigning champ Adam Richardson doing all he can to stay in this title fight. He is on the sauce for this race. He cannot let Adrian Tisci outscore him if he wants to stay in the fight here. And he's going to go around the outside of not just one car. Can he make it two? Through the fast left-hander. He's going to get the bit of room there on the inside line. And now as we head up towards the final corner, it is going to be Adam Richardson up those positions there. As you see Sotirakis putting the bump now to the back of Ian Henwood. Plenty of contact being made in race 3 here. They know they don't have to. They don't have another race to get these cars repaired for. They've got a bit of a gap now before they go to Interlagos for the final event of the season. And Seb Mills will make that pass down the main straight. They go. He's up into the 5th position. As we see there, Adam Richardson just behind him. Adrian Tisci, the championship leader, only in 9th place so far. He's got Elmarie Salo on his tail as they head down towards turn number 1 this time around. He has got Leo Bonnet on his mind as he goes to the inside again. We see contact between the two of them, and Leo Bonnet's going to get slid out wide there. And Adrian Tisci, surely now with those soft tyres, should make the move fairly easily here, but the Alfa Romeo is putting up a fight around the outside. Elmarie Salo looking to try and pick up the scraps here on soft tyres as well as they head in to turn number 2. It is going to be Tisci there ahead of Salo as Bonnet drops another spot there behind down into the 10th position. As one of our top drivers in races 1 and 2 feels the pain of that. With the success ballast on his car in this one, it's going to make his life that little bit harder to try and hold on to these positions. As you can see, more contact throughout the field. These drivers really have no limit to what they're willing to do in this race, it seems. Adam Richardson this time on the back of Ian Henwood, as now we see the fight up for the podium place is Matthew Lilley. He's got a decent gap there to Dylan Varstenberg. Matthew Lilley on the mediums, Dylan Varstenberg on the hard, so there is a tyre advantage in the way of the Tesla here. The race 1 winner trying to get another podium here, and we can see Dimitri Sotirakis looking to the inside. No, not quite able to do it because Seb Mills was going for it himself down the inside of the Mercedes. A bit of a slide there from that Mercedes, but he keeps hold of the car, but he gets squeezed all over the apex there, and that's going to give Seb Mills a brilliant chance down this straight now to clear Sotirakis. And as we head down towards turn number 1 on lap number 4, it is Varstenberg having to defend from Seb Mills, but look at the Peugeot go. That thing cannot be stopped in a straight line, and against the Alfa Romeo, the Alfa Romeo can do no more than just that as we head into turn number 1. It is Seb Mills up in to 3rd position, second highest off runner in this race, but Albert Asante pulling a nice gap out front at the moment. He has got the hard bit of his job done already, it seems, as he has got a lovely margin over the pack at the moment. Here we see Adrian Tisci. He's taken advantage of some traffic here. He's jumped not only Adam Richardson, but Ian Henwood as well there. He is now the lead Canadian in this race. Elmarie Salo in this battle as well. Jonathan Mills all the way from last on the grid. He's making his way up the old heroes. We see Carlo Durante battling with Jackson Turner here. Two drivers have already used their soft in this event, battling it out through the middle part of the lap there, battling over the final couple of points paying positions. But up at the rear of, down at the rear of the field, I should say, Scott Sandever, 19th place from 10th on the grid. We knew it was going to be a tough race for him, but the man that needs to try and get a good result on this one is looking like it's going to be a nil point for him in this one, which will put him in a tough position heading to Interlagos if he wants to try and contend for the Drivers' Championship here. As we see, the fight for second is on once more here. Seb Mills on the tail of Matthew Lilley. Isn't going to quite look to the inside there. Doesn't perhaps have the confidence in his car under braking. As we see, that's Dimitri Sotirakis making the pass on Dylan Varstenberg this time. Can he get the momentum around the outside? No. A little bit of a squeeze there for him. Adrian Tisci in that fight now, as well as Seb Mills has the chance to make yet another pass down this main straight. And again, you can see the difference in speed on the top end side of things. It is very much a front wheel drive paradise. Into turn number 1, it is going to be the Peugeot of Seb Mills who takes second place away from the full drive Tesla, as another full wheel drive car goes very deep on the brakes there. Sotirakis was brave and he just about kept it under control. A bit of a slide though for him, as now he has Adrian Tisci on his tail. Jonathan Mills up into the 8th position now. He's having a good run. He's jumped. Elmarie Salo is seemingly having some issues here getting around the fort of Ian Henwood. We've seen Salo have some overtaking issues earlier in the season when it comes to certain cars, and it seems that may have reared its head again here, although it does look like he has just managed to get through there. As further up, Adam Richardson is on the tail of Adrian Tisci at the moment. As things stand, Adam Richardson, the reigning champion, will be staying in title contention, but realistically, he's going to need a lot more than that if he wants a real shot at the championship. After today, only 60 points remain on offer, and we've never seen anyone score that sort of points from a single event. We've seen it in the 40s in the past, but never any higher than that, and as this series has evolved, it's getting harder and harder for drivers to put out events like that where they just dominate. As we see now, Sotirakis on the tail of Matthew Lilley for that third position. Adrian Tishy's going to the inside. Sotirakis, a little bit of a wide moment. He's going to be pinched in now behind the Tesla as they come through the final corner. He will just hold on to that position for now, though, as they fight their way down the main straight. Now it is Tishy ahead of the Mercedes, and now it's Richardson making that pass as well here. As Adrian Tishy moves up into fourth position, can he take the podium away from Matthew Lilley on those medium tyres? Towards turn number 1, the Toyota has been, well, more than happy to use its front bumper, but this time he doesn't have to. He gets down the inside and will make that move stick up into the podium place. As we see behind, they were briefly 4 wide heading down the main straight. It is going to be, on this occasion, Jonathan Mills that wins out on this site, ahead of Dylan Varstenberg, Morgan Hitchings, and Elmarie Salo, all in that battle pack there, as these drivers seem to be addicted to racing wheel-to-wheel around this Autopolis racetrack. And you see Morgan Hitchings up into the 8th position now. Varstenberg in 9th, drops back down into 10th for Salo in the BMW. Will drive clean around the outside of him there on his soft compound tyres. Will he have a look to the inside of the hairpin? He'll have a little bit of a glance, but he's not quite close enough to make anything happen this time, though. As these drivers now all on soft tyres, pretty much with the exception of Matthew Lilley up in the 4th position, all slowly making their way towards the head of the field and clearing any potential traffic. Adam Richardson will be the next to try and make his way past Matthew Lilley in that Tesla. Whilst it hasn't been able to put up too much of a fight, it's certainly hampered some drivers more than others in this race so far. Adam Richardson will doing all he can not to be held up by that Tesla ahead of him now, as Sotirakis looks to the inside, and again you can see the driver closest to Matthew Lilley gets sort of put in an awkward position. They can't make the move on Matthew, they can't defend from the car behind, and in the end it's going to allow Sotirakis to gain where he previously lost. He is now back up into that 5th position. As we see Jonathan Mills and Morgan Hitchings here, wheel to wheel towards turn number 1. These two have been racing against each other for years. And as we head towards turn 1, it is Sotirakis who finally gets up ahead of Lilley. Behind him then we will see Adam Richardson trying to make the pass as well, as Morgan Hitchings does get the move done on Jonathan Mills. Matthew Lilley, a bit of a cork in the bottle here at the moment, just slowing up the progress of some of these drivers and causing some of them to lose out just a tad here in this one. As we see Jonathan Mills diving back to the inside of Morgan Hitchings there. Hitchings in the smaller DS just lacks that little bit of stability that the Honda has over him. And now you can see the Renault getting involved as well here, as Mills is feeling especially brave around the outside. He's going to get to the inside now of the hairpin, and he surely will get that move done on Adam Richardson, as Elmarie Salo is going to try and do the same to Morgan Hitchings there as they battle their way out of the hairpin and towards the S's again. Here they go. Matthew Lilley holding on ahead of Jonathan Mills, then it's Adam Richardson, Elmarie Salo, and then Morgan Hitchings, as Salo's looking to the outside here. Can he carry some speed around, as Jonathan Mills does the same on Lilley as they come towards the final corner now. It is Mills up into 5th position. The Tesla is unable to fight back this time as they head towards this corner. It is going to be Mills on the inside. He'll get that move done nice and easily, as behind Salo tries to make a similar pass as Lilley goes a little bit wide. That's going to give the opening. All he needed there was that. Elmarie Salo up into 6th position. The door opened up and he walked straight on through, but up at the front of the field for now, it is Albert Asante still leading this race by a decent margin over Seb Mills, and then Adrian Tishy, the championship leader, running 3rd at the moment, adding to his tally of podiums. It looks like it's going to be what happens in this one, as Adam Richardson late on the brakes into turn number 1. He's going to get the move done on Matthew Lilley here, and it looks like Morgan Hitchings will follow him through here as they come out of the first corner. 8 drivers on the softs in this one, and they are nearly all at the front of this field. Matthew Lilley knows realistically he can't fight with these soft runners. Even though we're nearly all the way through this race, he has just run out of grip. You can see there, these drivers, inevitable they were all going to pass him. He did his best and put up a good fight, lasting 7 and a bit laps there in that position. But now down into 9th place, which is still the best driver in this race, not on the soft compound tyres. So it's still a strong result for him. Here, as we see them making their way through the hairpin, Dylan Varstenberg in 10th, then it's 11th. Ian Henwood, Turner, Fingal, Durante, and Leo Bonnet, currently the 2 Alfa Romeos, bringing up the back end of the points. Then it's the Honda ahead of the Genesis there, with Pierre Pont and Driscoll, Aston Lewis in 18th, and Scott Sandever in 19th. 2 drivers who need a good result from this one. Not getting them exactly at the moment. They're both at the rear of this field for the championship's sake. That is not what we wanted to see. But for Adrian Tishy's sake, it's exactly what he wanted to see. And not only that, He's on the tail of Seb Mills for second place here. Could we even see a Toyota 1-2? At the moment, Albert Asante leads the way for Toyota, and as we're on the final lap now, you can see that lead has closed down quite a bit. You can see how much the Peugeot has reeled into the race leader, but you have to feel Albert Asante taking the lead so early. He is just managing this one. He knows he's got the speed, he's got the tyres to do it, perhaps trying to back up Seb Mills a bit so that his teammate can get in the mix as well as they head towards the final corner for the final time now. Albert Asante is looking for win number 2 on the season. He has had a quiet season so far. His teammate has been the star for Toyota, but do not forget that this man has contributed a significant number of points to that Manufacturers' Championship too. Albert Asante will win race number 3 here at Autopolis for Toyota, ahead of Seb Mills there for Peugeot, and it's a double podium for Toyota as the Manufacturers' Championship leaders and the Drivers' Championship leader come home with a very impressive result. So Albert Asante then with the victory in that race with just under 2 tenths advantage over Seb Mills. Adrian Tisci in 3rd place, the top 3 all covered by a second in the end there. Dmitry Sotorakis comes home in 4th position, still yet to get that first elusive win for his career in this championship. But that Mercedes, it has to be said, has been one of the weaker cars this season, so he's doing a damn good job considering. Behind him, Jonathan Mills in 5th place out of Elmarie Salo. Adam Richardson is in 7th spot, which means he is no longer going to hold on to that championship. We know that for certain now, with Morgan Hitchings rounding out the top 8 behind him. Matthew Lilley in 9th place, with Dylan Varstenberg in 10th, Ian Henwood in 11th for Ford there, the Canadian driver, not quite the top Canadian today when he needed it most as we get very close to the end of this season. He is one of our main contenders too. Jackson Turner in 12th place there ahead of Jordan Fingal. Then we see Carlo Durante in 14th with Leo Bonnet taking home the final points paying position from race number 3. Missing out on points in this one, they are Ben Driscoll, Thomas Pierpont, Aston Lewis and Scott Sandever, crucially, 2 big contenders to the championship, going pointless in that final race. So after that one, it is a 33-point championship lead for Adrian Tisci in the Drivers' Championship. That is over Scott Sandever in 2nd position. Ian Henwood is 35 points off the lead, so those two in the battle for 2nd are very close. But then behind them, it's another 15 points back to Aston Lewis, who is 50 points off the championship lead. But of course, a 50-point deficit with just 3 races to go is almost impossible to recover. In fact, only 7 people are still mathematically in this championship fight, and they are in reverse order. Sebastian Mills, 60 points off the lead. Same goes for Adam Richardson in 6th position. Leo Bonnet, 5th. He's 54 points off. Aston Lewis, as I mentioned, 50 points off. Then we have the top 3, Ian Henwood, Scott Sandever, and of course, the championship leader, Adrian Tisci. If he can extend his lead by 7 points over Scott Sandever in the first race, or by 5 points over Ian Henwood in the first race, whilst not losing more than 10 points to Aston Lewis, or 14 points to Leo Bonnet, or 20 points to Seb or Adam Richardson, then he could win the championship with 2 races remaining in the season. So do make sure to join us in a week's time for the first race at Interlagos, because it could be a championship crowning one, but we know in this championship anything can happen. So if you're thinking, what's the point? Adrian Tisci has got this championship wrapped up. Trust me, anything can happen in this series, so do not rule out an incredible comeback just yet, because people have scored more than 33 points this season, and people have scored 0 at points this season, which is exactly what Scott Sandever needs to win the championship. 35 points to 0. It's unlikely for Ian Henwood, but as I said, it's happened before, it could happen again. Adrian Tisci is the only man to have been in every race so far this season, or at least the only championship contender to have been in every race this season. Surely he has to do not qualify at some point in this season. We'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, in the Manufacturers' Championship, Toyota unsurprisingly still lead the way, but only by 15 points over there. It's a much more open championship, but again, it is still unlikely that Toyota can be outscored, because not only would they need a rival manufacturer to outscore them by 15 points, it's only the top driver from each manufacturer that scores points. So Alfa Romeo are the main contender in that one after a very strong event, it has to be said today. Toyota would have to have both of their drivers be outscored by 15 points by whoever the best Alfa is in the finale. So it's entirely possible, but Toyota have 3 drivers in their lineup. Alfa Romeo have 3 as well, but they need all 3 of the Toyota drivers to have a rough event, and that, so far this season, just simply has not happened yet. Behind them, Tesla have vaulted their way up into third in the Manufacturers' Championship now, but they're 32 points off the lead. Mathematically still in it, but quite unlikely nonetheless. Then it is Genesis dropping back to 4th position, Renault behind them in 5th, Honda in 6th position with DS in 7th, Peugeot sit 8th, just ahead of Ford in 9th place, Subaru in 10th, and the two manufacturers which have been bringing up the rear of the field so far this season continue to do so. That is Mercedes in 11th and BMW, who did have a solid event here today in 12th place. That's it for Autopolis, though I do hope you all enjoyed this one. I certainly did. The championship is looking to be heading towards the Canadian, but we truly don't know anything for certain. Regardless of what you may think, this championship is still alive, and as we head to Interlagos, we are excited to see who will come out on top, because regardless, it'll be a deserving champion in this season. This season, one where drivers have had more control than ever over their destiny, and well, it seems to be showing up towards the front of the field. Some people have just been a step above the rest. Ian, Adrian, Scott have all put in brilliant seasons, and none of them deserve to lose out on a trophy at the end of the season. But only one person will be the champion of Simulated TC Season 2, so tune in a week's time, because we may just find out who that's going to be. Thank you for watching. Until next week, goodbye.